resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
So, you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. Hey, what's up, people? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all of the other holidays out there, Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and whatever it is you're celebrating. Whatever it is you're celebrating, have a blessed holiday. You know who I am. I'm Harry, aka The Brave. And I don't know what I'm gonna do today. It's the end of the year. On Pundits, we spoke about, prison reform. Thank you, Trump. He also, before I get to those subjects, he actually made a big investment into the urban community, right? So that's another thing. I think it was $2 billion, to revitalize the urban community, bring businesses back and everything. Nobody's giving Trump credit for anything, right? But, and you saw in the room, if you listen to pundits before we come on, you saw the room. They don't want to give Trump credit for anything, right? So Trump decided he's going to bring our troops back from Syria and Afghanistan, right? And instead of, and if Obama would have done it, people would have thought how genius it is that Obama is, look, you see how caring he is. He wants to bring our troops home and everything, right? But Trump does it. and there's some ulterior motive, something evil behind it. Why is he doing it? Oh, and now all of a sudden they're worried about how a pullout from those regions is going to affect those regions, right? Under Obama, it was just genius to pull out unprepared out of Iraq, you know? And everybody's jumping on Trump for announcing that he's planning on actually withdrawing our troops. He didn't say when, he didn't say how, but everybody's going after him. And I know I have family members, you know, in the military, and they were upset when Trump became president because they said that Trump would send their kids, since he's so uncaring, he would send their kids, since there's so many young men and women of color in the military, he would just send them to die anywhere in the world for his ego. And it's the opposite of that. And I tried to explain that to them then, but they never heard, they never listened to anything I said. It was a campaign promise of Trump's that we are not going to be the policemen of the world anymore. The United States will flex its muscle when it needs to flex its muscle, but we will not spend trillions of dollars and the blood of our young men and women in places where most of the times we're not even appreciated to be there, to be helping them. So anyway, so Trump decides he's bringing our troops back. And, you know, my friends here, my colleagues, they find it very difficult to give Trump credit for anything. And I get it. I get it. I mean, I was anti-Obama, right? When he pulled out of Iraq. But when he pulled out of Iraq, he literally just pulled out of Iraq with no way of securing the region or anything. But, you know, we'll see what Trump does. Because if he does it sloppily like Obama, I'll be against that too. See, you have to be consistent, though. You have to be consistent. If Trump messes up that region like Obama did when he pulled out of Iraq and ISIS was created, and then we had the Syria problem, and then Obama went and bombed Libya, got Gaddafi out of there. He made the Middle East worse. If Trump does that, I'll be right there with you saying he messed up. But don't celebrate one for doing it and doing it horribly, but then have to find crazy, evil, ulterior motives in Trump when he's pulling our children out of these places. You know, would you prefer that they're here in the United States or out there where no one loves or cares for them? So, thank you, Trump. So you have the military coming back. You have him investing billions of dollars into the urban communities. You have prison reform. What was the last one? I already forgot what was the last one. But so anyway, Trump is right there. He's doing a great job, right? And he's actually doing things that if Obama did them, you would celebrate them. So try to be intellectually honest and consistent. We know how you feel because the media told you to feel a certain way. The media has sold you propaganda for the last 3 or 4 years on Trump. Since 2015, since he came down that escalator. He came down the escalator, he said we need to defend our borders because some of the people who come through those southern borders are criminals. And all the media heard or the media put out was that he called all Mexicans rapists and murderers. And if you go and read the transcript from that, or just go look at the video, you know, you'll see, you'll hear, you'll read that he never said that. But the media's propaganda has continued since then. So there's only one way for you to look at Trump, unless you're actually critically thinking and you say, before 2015, how did this guy exist in the business world before 2015 that he announced? You have to actually ask yourself that, because rappers had him in their songs. They all wanted to be Donald Trump. NBC had him with a hit show on their platform over there. How did this guy exist if he was the guy they claim him to be today? You have to actually, look, end this year right. Do your homework. Go and check what's been happening, what he's been doing, but not just like the media likes to tell you, white people, for the American people, no matter what color, race you are. End this year right. End this year with intelligence. You are capable of making your own decisions. Don't just be led by the nose by this propagandist media. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
$1994, I'm off the porch, sipping 40 ounces with my dogs. Going half on nickel bags of funks. That was back when I believed in luck. Yeah. Running off at the mouth could get you, but back then all it did was get you jumped. Pants rubbing and humping's 88. I'm getting older now. Yeah, watching older figure throwing rims up on his truck. I was fascinated how he's getting all this stuff. Heard he died on the dance floor, doing the butt. They was shooting up the party, screaming, "It's better duck." And I couldn't get enough, cause apparently I'm stuck. Just pay me what you owe me, never can I get a buck. And I'm arrogant as I tell you, look, life is a game of spades and it's played by the book, yeah. I be feeling like I'm all alone. No room for nobody on the throne. Everybody coming for my head. I can feel this feeling in my bones. I be feeling like I'm all alone. No room for nobody on the throne. Everybody coming for my head. I can feel this feeling in my bones. They thought I wouldn't make it, then I made it. I thought that they would love me, but they hated. They thought that I was high and I was faded. But still ain't no denying I'm the greatest ever. I promised my daughter to never promise. I broke that promise twice, now I owe my daughter all kinds of. I don't wear a watch, I can show you what time it is. I be spinning blocks, texting I'm right outside your crib. It's not a magic trick when I'm disappearing inside you, sis. Swimming with the sharks, dodging all them piranha fish. Cause I ain't trying to lose, and that's a major accomplishment. Kids in private school, you can miss me with all that minor. Take my coffee, 2 sugars, heavy on the cream. 3 albums, 1 summer, Philly blunt a machine. I am January's baby, February's dream. Marching into April, I'm something June never seen. And it seems I be feeling like I'm all alone. No room for nobody on the throne. Everybody coming for my head. I can feel this feeling in my bones. I be feeling like I'm all alone. No room for nobody on the throne. Everybody coming for my head. I can feel this feeling in my bones.
listening to Breaking News with Harry, aka The Brave. What's up? I want to give a shout out to Joe Ugly. You know, all the music I play comes from Ugly Radio, independent, what? Music for independent listeners? I don't know. I forget his little slogan. But shout out to Joe Ugly and the crew over there, Marshall Cruz, Kodik, Full Court Press, and Rob Nice, baby. Shout out to everybody out there. I mean, Ugly Radio, me and him, we go at it all the time. But I love, you know, listening to their show. Starts at 6, goes from 6 to 9 before Babs Love Talk. If you haven't heard it, get up early, check it out. You know, because they have, for me, they have the best morning show. So, tune in. All right, let's get to the headlines. This is an interesting one. I'm going to get into the politics and stuff, but I like to have these stories that have nothing to do with politics. Well, kind of politics is, but not really Donald Trump related, right? This is from USA News. Survey claims 27%. I'm sorry for laughing, but I find this stuff, this political correctness, to be hilarious or sad. One or the other, but it makes me laugh, right? So, survey claims 27% want female or gender-neutral Santa, despite roots as a historical figure. So, this is from LifeSite News. A logo design company has generated some Christmas buzz by announcing a new survey that claims more than a quarter of Americans and Brits would like to see a Santa Claus rebranded as either female or gender neutral. What if Father Christmas was rebranded for today, as Graphic Springs in a blog spot that imagines a modern Santa decked out in skinny jeans and tattoos and even trading in his sleigh and reindeer for a hoverboard. So they want to give Santa a politically correct makeover, right? You know, it's interesting. I mean, this is ridiculous. Really, this is ridiculous. And the fact that it is based on a real life human being, Saint Nicholas, a man. Let's get over this stuff. This always trying to change people and historic people. Come on. We're smarter than this. I understand the gender neutral and all of these movements that are trying to dissolve everything we are, right? I get it. But dissolve your life. Don't make it. You have 2%, maybe less than 2% of the people trying to modify the rest of the world for us. Modify it in your lives. Leave our lives alone. Leave Santa the way Santa has always been. You know, and it's interesting because I'm not the type who actually goes, and I never did with my kids. I never told them, oh, Santa's bringing you this, Santa's bringing you that. And we told them, this is us, but we still celebrated the whole Santa Claus stuff and everything, but they knew everything was coming from us. And now my granddaughter tells me that I told her that there's no Santa Claus, and I don't remember telling her that. But I'm like, I told her the other day, because I wasn't sure if her mother, her parents, her mother and father are teaching her about Santa Claus. And she goes, Papa, Santa Claus is not real. You told me. And I said, I told you? And she said, yeah, you and Mommy told me. I'm like, I don't remember telling you. I said, but let me tell you the story of Santa. And I told her the story of St. Nicholas and how he used to go around and help people and everything. And she was like, so he's real? And I'm like, oh no, he's real, but he's dead now. And she's like, oh my God, Santa Claus died. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not explaining this right. Ask your mother, because I don't know what she's told you. But it's funny because there is a story, a backstory to the Santa Claus myth, right? Kind of. But just leave our traditions alone. Everybody's trying to solve everything. All right, let me move on to another story. Ice Air. Ice Air, I like that. Ice Air charter flights deport 100,000 immigrants a year. So Ice Air sounds like a new airline, but ICE actually deports over 100,000 illegal immigrants a year. Interesting. They fly them to, I was going to say their destination of choice, but not their destination of choice. Their destination of choice is America, but we send them back. Interesting. I mean, shackled at their ankles. I'm reading the story. The story is from the Washington Times. Shackled at their ankles and wrists, and their shoelaces removed, a long line of men and women waited on the tarmac as a team of officers patted them down and checked inside their mouths for anything hidden. Then one by one they climbed a mobile staircase and onto a charter plane the size of a commercial aircraft. This was a deportation flight run by ICE Air. The chains would be removed and the shoelaces returned when the plane landed in El Salvador. An obscure division of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement operates hundreds of flights each year to remove immigrants. Deportation flights are big business. The U.S. government has spent approximately $1 billion on them in the last decade, and the Trump administration is seeking to raise ICE's budget for charter flights by 30%. So there you go. ICE, at least, they get to fly back and not have to walk back all those miles they walk towards us. I know, I'm not very sympathetic, right? I am, but not really. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM.
Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treat a seat. You will never treat me heat. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treat a seat. You will never treat me eat. Another Jesus Judah parallel tale. The story really never ends well. Swarm down like a vulture. Judas bent us over and they came and f***ed us over. Now we selling agriculture. My island, falling down in a hole in silence. Peace and violence, keep us silence. Forever staying strong, can't bring me down along. I know you really hate this song. Money has a soul, now we pay back loans. School shutting down, they don't even have a frown. Breaking laws, no American representative represented us it up. What happened, Uncle Sam? Fucking up in plans. Lo hago por mi pueblo, situación de deseo para hacer lo que puedo. Now tell me how this hook does it sound so good. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treat a seat. You will never treat me eat. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treat a seat. You will never treat me eat. It will never change. They will never change. It will never change. They will never change. Let me take you back to Black Wall Street. Really have a white man off me. Keep your mouth quiet about Christopher Columbus. Say clues about the riots, I murder us thousands. Victims of America, how they telling us we're free in the land where they bury us. My island not for sale. May his words live long and prevail. Do you feel? Rip my roots, take my life, make me dumb, shoot my kind. Kill our leaders, my people so deceitful. Everything you ever done was evil. Our minds still tied to those chains. Still walking like slaves, getting played by the game. Some things will never change, but I'm standing by my flag, yelling as I ask. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treat a seat. You will never treat me eat. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never trip to see. You will never trip to eat. Evil man.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News. All right, well, this story just came in. Justice Ginsburg, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, undergoes surgery to remove cancerous growths. The Supreme Court says Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg had surgery to remove 2 malignant growths from her left lung. It's Ginsburg's third bout with cancer since she joined the court in 1993. The court says the 85-year-old Ginsburg had the surgery Friday in New York and will remain in the hospital for a few days. Whoa. That's interesting, right? For everybody out there. And by the way, I want to shout out Dennis James Wilson. What's up, James? But look, let me tell you something. He wrote, Trump's administration is a disaster, but let's talk about Santa. Sure, let's talk about Santa. But let me ask you, besides all the constant bashing and twisting of news from the media, what has Trump done wrong for the country? What exactly has he done wrong for the country? The lowest unemployment for black men? The lowest unemployment for Hispanics? Tell me, James, what exactly, I'm calling you James, that's your middle name, hopefully it doesn't offend you, but what exactly is he doing wrong? You know, I will say this, the stock market is in a correction period right now, but there's so many different factors. The Fed continues to raise the interest rates even though Trump is asking them not to. Under Obama, the Fed didn't raise the interest rate at all. It was at 0. Right? And then you have these trade wars that is happening, but all of these trade wars are coming out for the benefit of the American people, right? So you have the new, he renegotiated NAFTA. He finished the deal with South Korea, and all of those deals actually have America doing better in those deals. So yeah, we're going to feel the effect of it temporarily, but it'll actually cause more growth in the future. Anyway, so you let me know what you think. Type it up on one of our Facebook pages. I'll answer. All right, let me get to this story real quick because it's an interesting thing. We were just talking about prison reform, right? And Trump doing for prison reform more than Obama did for prison reform. And that comes from Van Jones. He was one of Obama's advisors. Actually, one of Obama's SARs. He was Obama's EPA SAR or something like that. So anyway, some climate change SAR or something like that. So that's coming from Van Jones. This prison reform wouldn't have gotten done if it wasn't for Donald Trump. If it wasn't for Donald Trump leaning on the Republican Senate to get this passed. Right? So let me get to this. So moving on, well, continuing this prison reform story, in the Wall Street Journal, there's a story. It says, I thought I was done for, but this tight job market opens doors for ex-convicts. Okay, and this is a conversation I was having yesterday with Democrats who wouldn't say this on air, but off air was saying, this job market is incredible. You know, the especially the skilled jobs that are coming back. These aren't jobs that like were created under Obama, retail jobs, burger flipping jobs. These are skilled jobs. These are jobs that you're going to actually get paid. You know, a paycheck that you could be proud of. And It's lifting all ships. So right now, you have ex-convicts actually able to jump into the job market, and there are more jobs than people available for jobs. And if you have any type of skill set, there are jobs out there for you. So this story, the guy says, I thought I was done for, but this tight job market opens doors for ex-convicts. For the past year, the Wall Street Journal documented the journey of 3 former prisoners as they looked for work in New York. Get a job, ex-prisoners hear that message all the time from parole officers, from family members, and even from former inmates. Barry Green, one of 20,695 parolees released from New York prisons in 2017, said he was reminded constantly about the importance of being employed during his 4-month parole. Anyway, so this guy went out there, he got a job, a skilled job in construction and everything. Look, the thing is that I've been saying this for a while, but Democrats try not to talk about the job market and how good this job market is for everyone. Even if you're employed and are not happy where you're employed and you have a skill set, there are jobs available. Employers are now paying to relocate you to their cities to work. You know, you have trucking companies giving $15,000 bonuses to work for them. There are jobs out there now in abundance, and high-paying jobs, well-paying jobs. But that's something you don't hear, because to give Donald Trump credit, it actually hurts people. I know I see people every day over here are always in pain when I remind them of how good it is right now in the job market. And New Haven, hopefully, Ned Lamont, who understands business, is going to bring that with him. It's not just going to follow the lead of everybody who wants to build a victim nation. He knows that it takes hard work in order to succeed. Hopefully, he's going to bring that with him. All right, I'm going to take another break. You're listening to Breaking News. Absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave.
Yeah. That's right. Listen tight.
Take this ride. I said, I know you got a man. She said, sure you're right, but he ain't gotta know a thing. Just come through tonight. Guess the moral of the story is, if you got the juice, she gon' get the biz. I'ma slide through on a late night, make it feel good, make it feel right. I ain't never met another person singing verses, slinging melodies like I do. Just another thing up on our list, just in case no one ever told you. I got the moves, I got the proof. I'm doing everything that niggas tell me that I never do. I got the juice, I got the moves, I got the proof. You ain't the only one hating on me, but do what you do, yeah. 'Cause I got the juice, I got the juice, I got Mustang, I was off a while, but I'm back now with the real the quickness, but my business, you can witness what I'm about now. Stand there, we'll sit back down. Basic on the track now. No time to relax now. Pay me like it's tax now. Stealing all your racks now. Talk, but don't back out. Curry with my shot now. Can't touch cause I'm hot now. No print, it's all facts now. Facts now. I got the juice, I got the moves, I got the proof. I'm doing everything that been told me that I never do. I got the juice, I got the moves, I got the proof. You ain't the only one hating on me, but do what you do, yeah. Cause I got the juice. 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 I got the juice.
You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM. All right, let's move on to the next story. This is from the New York Times. Planned Parenthood is accused of mistreating pregnant employees. Really? Could Planned Parenthood be hypocrites? That's an interesting story, right? Because employers that champion women face accusations of discriminating against their pregnant workers, showing how widespread the problem is in American workplaces. And this is an interesting story because Planned Parenthood claims to be for women. Planned Parenthood, they perform a lot of abortions. So maybe they're just not for children, right? I could just hear everybody going, ah! Okay, let me read the story. As a medical assistant at Planned Parenthood, Talisa Hairston urged pregnant women to take rest breaks at work, stay hydrated, and please eat regular meals. Then she got pregnant and couldn't follow her own advice. Last winter, Ms. Hairston told the Human Resources Department for Planned Parenthood's clinic in White Plains, New York, that her high blood pressure was threatening her pregnancy. She sent the department multiple notes from her nurse, recommending that she take frequent breaks. Managers ignored the notes. They rarely gave her time to rest or to take a lunch break, Ms. Hairston said. I had to hold back tears talking to pregnant women, telling them to take care of their pregnancies when I couldn't take care of mine, she said. It made me jealous. Well, does it surprise me the hypocrisy of a place like Planned Parenthood not giving their employees the time needed to actually take care of their pregnancies? It doesn't surprise me. It's just the Democratic way, right? Democrats lie. Planned Parenthood lies. All right. And relax, all you people, all you Planned Parenthood activists out there. It's a real story. It's in the New York Times. It's in the New York Times. It has to be a real story, right? Anyway. Let's move on. President Trump signs $867 billion farm bill into law. Right? And in that farm bill, he has restrictions on welfare and food stamps and all that stuff. All that good stuff. Right? He's trying to get people. I remember when Bill Clinton did this. And he was applauded by the right for actually coming to the center and actually trying to create an environment where people had self-worth, right? That you don't just decide that you're going to be generationally on welfare, on government, on the government, I was going to say something vulgar, but not always feeding off the government, right? If you have the ability to actually go learn a skill and get employed, That's what you should do. That should be your starting point. You know, living off of the government, that shouldn't be a generational thing. And I know plenty of people who have done that, who don't know anything else, who actually go and have kids just so that they can stay on welfare and on food stamps. So anyway, Trump signed the bill, the farm bill, and it's gonna hopefully motivate people to get off of the government programs and actually start taking care of themselves. That would be a grand thing, right? I have this story here. Oh, this is the U.S. to withdraw 7,000 troops from Afghanistan. And you remember when that was a good idea, that we should withdraw troops from regions of the Middle East? Remember when that idea was Obama's idea and everybody loved it? You should start loving it. Start thinking about it. Start loving it. If you loved it under Obama, start loving it now. Don't be a hypocrite. Be true to yourself. That is, if you have a self, if all you know is what other people tell you, if all your thoughts come from CNN, fake media, fake news, then you don't have a self. Right? You have to actually go. When they tell you Trump said this, Trump said that, you have the ability to actually go and see and listen and read what he said. Don't take somebody else's word for what's going on, because people are evil. And these media sources, these newspapers, these television stations, they have been selling you propaganda. The United States, now the media, it used to be respected, but now they traffic in propaganda. There is no respect for the media anymore. And if you look at all the polls, they're under 30%. No one respects the media because they're constantly putting out garbage. All right, I'm going to take another quick break. Then I'll come back to say goodbye to 2018. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Kel's in the building with me though. Huh? Smoking mirrors, but the Zilla got the straight vision after holding these ups down just like victims. Got a double notch of kicks, you see the fam tripping. My shoulders RTB, we on the mission, pardon me. That bull be a DUB, you won't last like RG3, I guarantee. Money back and y'all don't want none of that. Treat it like leftovers, gotta keep it under wraps. Only at a concert would dudes be the ones to clap. The King's is back, you hear us clear, this ain't no mumble rap. Trump hand thoughts follow these walks like a Thundercat. Standing on my ego, high level to the money stack. I be trying to get it, they be trying to borrow. I see them with their hands out, I'ma see you tomorrow. Not the one to follow, drink the beer and swing the bottle. Roll a plank and get higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. Success fill a hater heart with sorrow. If you side switch your dudes to get what you get. Me and Kel's got the force, come to sip. Trouble you quick, them other side cats wanna run that hard facts. Small world, see me right where you at. Burn the J right in the front and I'ma be right back. See about what they talking so I know it's real. Bite now, you know the deal. I'll fuck the city up like I'm Cloverfield.
Dog, we never changed up. Dog, we never changed up. For 2 decades, we've been on the same stuff. Like how I tied my people, we done came up.
All right. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, aka The Brave. All right, let's get into it real quick because I'm almost out of here. Final 2 stories. You know, I was talking about fake news, fake media. You know, if you're a Ocasio-Cortez fan, Listen to this. Trump. Wait, hold up. Congressional sensation Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez channeled her inner Donald Trump on Tuesday with a flurry of attacks against Washington. Let me try to say this. Washingtonian Bible political, okay? Against political, let me just say that. Okay, Tuesday, she attacks against political. One disappointment about DC is the gossip that masquerades as reporting. This is Ocasio-Cortez tweeting. She says, one disappointment about DC is the gossip that masquerades as reporting. Tweeted the incoming congresswoman above one of the publication stories about her. My dad had a name for junk articles like this. Birdcage lining. There you go. Ocasio-Cortez saying that there is fake news and the media masquerades gossip for news. And it should be just birdcage lining. That's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the up-and-coming congresswoman who, according to the Democrats, has a bright future ahead of her. All right? Let's move on to the next story here real quick because I got to get out. CNN Journalist of the Year peddles fake story about Trump's America and then has to resign. CNN celebrated this guy and said he was the Journalist of the Year because he went out and he faked stories. He went to Middle America. They sent him out to Middle America to try to find that Donald Trump supporters are crazies. And since he couldn't find it, he made up the stories. What a surprise. What a surprise. Christmas came early for the hashtag fake news bunch in the form of German reporter getting his comeuppance for years of false reporting, including a web of lies he weaved upon a visit to Trump country back in 2017. Go and look it up. His name is Der Spiegel. But look it up. And more proof that there's fake news. All right, people, I got to get out of here. You've been listening. Look, thank you for tuning in and listening throughout the year. You know, I love doing my show, Breaking News. And I hope everybody out there has a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And for those who celebrate Kwanzaa and everything else, have a wonderful holiday. All right, I got to get out of here. You've been listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.